Hey guys, it's kind of slow and people have been requesting that I do a loadout on my bag. It actually changes kind of frequently, and I'm going to discuss the two impacts that I've been using, why I went to the M12, and which one I'm going to decide to use from here on out, and I'll tell you why. So stay tuned. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to address is the M12 and Makita lineup that I've been using. I do have a little bit of M18, not a whole lot. I bought the M12 because I wanted something smaller, and Makita's 12 volt lineup, honestly, it's pathetic. They don't invest any money in it, but Milwaukee's investing a lot of money into this M12 line, and they're making trade specific tools that I kind of like. So I invested in it. I like this impact. And recently I went back to the Makita, and you can see on this that the Makita has a shorter head on it, but I have found that really doesn't make a big difference. And the size is very adjustable and controllable with these controls. It's got 4 speeds and about 4 more assist modes. But in the end, I'm going to end up using the M12 simply because it's so much lighter and smaller, and it just happens to fit on my bag just right. So this is what I'm going to end up using. Most of my bigger tools are still Makita. Now let's get to the bag. I think first, let's go through what's on the outside. I keep the Klein 7-in-1 flip bit. I always keep that. And this is just a wire brush that fits into my impact, so I can clean the inside of the hub of a blower wheel or a condenser fan motor or a condenser fan blade. I do keep an extra pocket knife on here, and it's one of the hook blades. I like to keep that on my bag because there are times when you need to skin back some larger wire that wire strippers just can't do, and that's a good tool for that. Obviously I got some electric tape. I don't think I have anything in here. On the outside here, I've got 2 adjustable wrenches. This one, if y'all can see, is made for small applications, so you can back up a flare nut that you're trying to tighten down. So it's real thin on the very end, and I happen to use that a lot. And this is a Schrader tool that you can actually reach out and grab the Schrader with and turn. It has proven very useful, and I use it a lot. And of course, a magic marker. All right, out here I have the Klein magnetic tool where you can magnetize about anything and demagnetize it. I've got a couple of bits here on a bit holder, and in this pocket is where I keep my Klein thermal imager, which is something I do use, and I use it quite frequently. All right, let's dig into, why don't we do this side first? All right, this is where I keep most of my electronics and whatnot. I've started carrying a magnetic tray, and in here I have the SC680, and I have the probe kit, a high and low side, and for superheat and subcooling. I have 3 temperature sensors. One is for outdoors, that's what the yellow tape is for, and the blue and red my red is going to be my return, and my blue is going to be my supply. So I keep 3 of these. Let's see what else is in here. A Schrader core removal tool. I use this for charging. When I'm using my probes, I can just put this on my Schrader, put my probe here, and I can charge through here. Let me see what's in the pouch. And if you're wondering, this is the Tech MCT Blackout. And as you can see, it has pouches on the side that the other one did not. I have a 7/8. It's either 7/8 or 1/2 inch bit that I keep right there. Some adapters for mini splits, Schrader cores, and also in here, that right there is just a anchor kit. A spare battery for my camera. And I think somewhere in here I've got extra tips for one of these field piece leak detectors, and an update on that leak detector, the one that wasn't doing so well. Field piece sent me another one. Oh, and here's the tips for that field piece leak detector. So field piece reached out to me, sent me a new leak detector, and I sent them my old one so they could figure out what's going on with it. And as you saw in here, I'll also keep a bunch of zip ties. All right, let's go to this side. I don't think I have anything in either one of these. I think I have an air tag in one of these. Not that one. But there's one on here somewhere. All right, I do keep the Milwaukee magnetic battery flashlight. This is not rechargeable. I just use batteries, and it's very useful. There's a little ring up here in the top that it just magnetically sticks to. Now this right here is a duck knife. I have a sheath inside the bag that I have sewn to the side of the bag right here so it won't come out. All right, now some of the tools I have a long extension. Some people like to talk about my long extensions because I've got multiples. I've got a short extension. The screwdriver is just a plain flathead screwdriver. And this is an insulated Phillips and flathead. And over here is a bigger Phillips. I do not carry those 5-in-1s or 11-in-1s, the HVAC multi-tool by Klein, because I don't use the nut drivers on them because they oftentimes don't fit. The head of the nut driver is too big to remove a screw when it's close to something. And I have the magnetic Klein nut drivers, of course 5/16 and 1/4. And y'all have seen me use this brush many a time. All right, some of the hand tools. These are the strippers, wire cutters, and crimpers by Klein. And of course, needle nose. I use these all the time, nearly every call. Side cutters, or around here people call them dikes because they're diagonal cutters. Some regular linesman pliers, and this is the Icon adjustable wrench that you can get at Harbor Freight. It looks just like the Knipex, and there's really not much of a difference. Another flip bit, 5/16 and 1/4. I have, this is a universal locking valve cap remover, and it has the tips in the end here. So any kind of locking valve cap this can remove. It does have a problem though. Sometimes this shaft will start to turn and you can't remove a stuck locking valve cap. I use this screwdriver here to knock holes when I'm mounting a thermostat. That's just the right size for the screws and the anchor kits. That's the sole purpose for this screwdriver. Thermostat screwdriver. 2 ends, you got 2 Phillips and 2 flatheads. My service wrench. I've had this same service wrench for many a year, and it's very useful. I mean, there's lots of things you use it for that you wouldn't think that it's made for, but AC companies are making some of their screws and whatnot the right size for these. This is to hold down a switch on a furnace so you can troubleshoot it electrically. That has a door switch on it. And this is locking valve cap remover for the JB that has the 2 little pins. I have a 3/8 and 7/16 flare nut wrench. Those are for pilots and thermocouples. Very useful to have in your bag. And this is the 5/16 and 1/4 little wrench that you can get into tight spaces and unscrew a screw that you can't really reach. A deburring tool. I always have some kind of sandpaper, and in fact I normally have some other, I have a softer sanding material for flame sensors, a short and stubby 1/4 inch, and a multi short and stubby. Up here I've got jumpers, actually 3 of them, and in my pouch here, let's see if we can get, I've got my little popper that I use to troubleshoot low voltage shorts. It's called a Lil Popper 3-amp circuit breaker. I've got more of the mini split adapters. I've got another anchor kit, some low voltage fuses, some batteries, and some Schrader caps in there. And then here I've got my headlamp, which I use quite often. A little tape measure and some tubing cutters. Alright, so that basically covers everything that's in my bag. And y'all been asking about these impacts. This is the one that I prefer to use now, simply because of the size and weight. This could be a lot lighter if we put like a 2 amp hour battery on it, but still my preference is this one. It has more than enough power for anything we do. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the loadout, and I thought I would address the impacts that I've been using. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.